In this podcast episode, Jim Rickards, a prominent economist and financial commentator, discusses the current state of the U.S. economy, the implications of tariffs, and the geopolitical landscape, particularly concerning Russia and China. He provides insights into the likelihood of a recession, the impact of government policies, and the role of religion in global conflicts. Rickards asserts that the U.S. is likely already in a recession, although official indicators may not yet reflect this reality. He explains that the National Bureau of Economic Research, which typically announces recessions after they have occurred, is not a reliable real-time indicator. Instead, he emphasizes the importance of looking at various economic metrics, such as hiring trends and the Federal Reserve's GDP tracker, which recently indicated a significant downturn. He notes that hiring has stagnated, and while mass layoffs have not yet occurred, the economy is showing signs of distress. Rickards elaborates on the yield curve, explaining that an inverted yield curve often signals an impending recession. He highlights that the current economic environment is characterized by a flattening yield curve, suggesting that the recession is already upon us. He also discusses the implications of rising interest rates, which he believes are a sign of economic weakness rather than strength. The conversation shifts to the topic of tariffs, particularly those imposed by former President Donald Trump. Rickards argues that Trump's tariff policies are beneficial for the U.S. economy, despite the negative impact they may have on countries like China and Vietnam. He believes that the primary responsibility of U.S. policymakers is to prioritize American interests, even if it means disadvantaging other nations. Rickards draws parallels between current economic strategies and historical practices, referencing Alexander Hamilton's American system, which relied on tariffs to protect domestic industries. He contends that tariffs can create high-paying jobs in the U.S. and encourage foreign companies to invest domestically to avoid tariffs. He argues that the economic benefits of such policies outweigh the potential downsides, such as increased prices for consumers. The discussion then transitions to geopolitical issues, particularly the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Rickards asserts that the U.S. and its allies have played a significant role in provoking the war, citing actions taken by NATO and the West that have escalated tensions with Russia. He believes that the Biden administration's approach has been misguided, as it seeks to topple Russian President Vladimir Putin without considering the potential consequences. Rickards emphasizes that the war has resulted in significant loss of life and destabilization in the region. He argues that the U.S. should focus on diplomatic solutions rather than military interventions, as the latter often lead to unintended consequences. He expresses skepticism about the effectiveness of current U.S. military support for Ukraine, noting that many advanced weapons systems have not performed as expected on the battlefield. In a thought-provoking segment, Rickards discusses the often overlooked role of religion in shaping global conflicts. He references Samuel Huntington's theory that many of the world's conflicts are rooted in religious differences. He argues that understanding the cultural and religious dynamics at play is crucial for comprehending the motivations behind various geopolitical tensions. Rickards shares his observations from a recent trip to India, where he noted the deep intertwining of religion and daily life. He suggests that the lack of attention to religious factors in international relations leads to misunderstandings and miscalculations by policymakers. He posits that a more nuanced understanding of these dynamics could lead to more effective diplomatic strategies. Looking ahead, Rickards expresses cautious optimism about the U.S. economy's potential for recovery. He outlines a plan, referred to as the 333 Plan, which aims to reduce the deficit to 3% of GDP, achieve real growth of 3% or more, and increase oil production by 3 million barrels per day. He believes that if these goals are met, the U.S. can stabilize its economy and begin to reduce its debt-to-GDP ratio. Rickards acknowledges that the current economic environment is challenging, with lingering effects from the Biden administration's policies. He emphasizes the need for a shift in focus towards sustainable economic growth and fiscal responsibility. He believes that the U.S. can emerge from this period of economic uncertainty stronger than before, provided that policymakers prioritize sound economic principles.